Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. Welcome to another PlayStation review. Today's review is for World Soccer Cup 2022. Now, probably like many of you, most days, especially on a Tuesday and Friday, I generally have a look at the PlayStation Store to see what's been released. Sometimes there's some nice surprises in there that you're not aware of because they're not in the pre-order section and they kind of just sneak out there. Medieval Dynasty was a fine example of that. I didn't realise that was coming out until a couple of weeks ago and it was a nice surprise. So sometimes there are nice surprises in the PlayStation Store that I think, yeah, I'm going to play that and review that on the channel. Hopefully it'll do well. And then I saw this. World Soccer Cup 2022. And I saw who made it. And it is Pixar's or Benoit Varasse, who is trading as Pixar's. And this is the same person stroke company that made the international boxing game that I recently reviewed on the channel that was an abomination. Well, he has turned his attention to football now with World Soccer Cup 2022. And it's about as bad as you think, guys. In fact, it's worse than that. It is easily, hands down, the worst football game I have ever played on any console or computer throughout my gaming life. We're going right back to the 80s here. At least most of the games that I have played before tried to work as best they could with the technology that they had at their disposal. This game cannot make such a claim. Right, let's give you some of the features of this game. Features, right, okay. There are two modes. There is a single player mode and there is a tournament mode. Now, the title of this game is World Soccer Cup, so you would think it would actually give you a World Cup mode with actual, real life tournament mechanics. Forget about it, you don't get that at all. So you get a single player mode and you get a tournament mode. The tournament mode has a maximum of 8 teams. It's not set out in any World Cup format, any World Cup system. You've basically just got 8 teams on this game. That is it. So there is no World Cup model here. If you've got excitable kids that have seen this in the store this morning and said, Daddy, there's a new football game. It's only $3.99 and it's a World Cup game. Can I buy it with my pocket money? Guys, avoid this one like the plague. It is crushingly disappointing. I kind of knew what I was in for when I saw this. But I kind of thought, well, if I'll pay $3.99 just to get some footage of this game up so that hopefully anybody that looks at this game hopefully will see my review first and realise what an absolute scandal this game is. Okay, back to the game. So you've got single player mode, tournament mode, 8 teams, 3 difficulty levels, easy, medium and hard. You've got 2 different types of fields. You've got a grass and a dirt. You've got formations, 3 types of formations to choose from. Not that it makes a blind bit of difference when you play the game, but they're there if you really want to. And then you put the game on. And it is just, honestly, I laughed out loud when I started playing it. It is so bad. You could just skittle through the rest of the players. To say nothing of the game mechanics and how the game looks, which is amongst the worst I've ever seen on any console or any system ever. You can actually catch up players who are sprinting through the field by slide tackling them. So if you slide tackle and miss, you'll get a little bit closer to the player. Keep slide tackling, you'll get even closer until eventually you'll overtake them with your slide tackles. That's how bad we're talking here, guys. It is abysmally bad. There you go. Look, he's just taken the ball off him by slide tackling about 6 times. The difficulty levels are a joke. You play the game in easy mode, and it is, yes, ridiculously easily. You can just go from one end of the field to the other and try and score, even though there's no set way to score. You can put it on medium level. It feels exactly the same. Doesn't feel any different to me at all, other than the slide tackle, a little bit faster and a little bit more regular. And the controls, well, there aren't any. There's no controls other than X to pass the ball, I can figure out. Circle, I think's to shoot. And circle, when you don't have the ball, is slide tackle. And that's about as much as you're going to get here, guys, from this revolutionary football game. So this is a scandal, guys, this game. I don't know how Sony or PlayStation are letting so much crap dribble onto their PlayStation Store. There must be some quality control somewhere. Clearly there isn't, because you see a lot of these low-budget indie titles, and I don't begrudge anybody trying to make a career out of gaming by starting small and getting better and better. This company isn't one of them. Every single game they put out there is zero effort and seem to get worse depending on what sport they focus on. This is worse than the boxing one, and I didn't think that was possible. I mean, just look at how this game looks, guys. Look at it! Just stand back and gaze at how amazing this gameplay is. I mean, there's a clock on the top left that makes no sense. Absolutely no sense at all. The whole game doesn't make sense. I mean, I'm absolutely appalled. So please, guys, if any of you are seeing this in the store and thinking, oh, I've got a football game before the World Cup, which is the World Cup's in about 5 weeks, I think. So, I mean, that in itself is pretty scandalous that they've called this game World Soccer Cup, thinking that people are going to buy it, thinking it's going to be like a World Cup sim. It isn't, guys. I mean, it is hands down the worst football game I've ever played in my life. And I've played a few stinkers because I'm a fan of football. I used to play literally every football game that was going when I was younger. These days I don't play them as much. I do have FIFA, obviously, but I mainly play the management side of it. Football Manager's coming out soon on PlayStation, which I'm excited about. This one is an abomination, should be avoided. I begrudge even giving it a 1 out of 10 if I'm honest, guys. It is a really terrible game. Shouldn't be bought, shouldn't be in the PlayStation Store, and I implore you to avoid this game. So I hope you found this useful, guys. I hope you saw this review before you bought the game, and I will, of course, be back with more content on the channel very, very soon.